Fugitive from justice ran into Ghana, ran away. He ran into Ghana, ran away. We've been hearing a lot about that on the media anyway. I've been watching for the records, and we'll have a lot of time to talk about that. But let's look at these three important people. Now, it is about them that our side of the story is about. Everyone talks about somebody coming to Ghana, running away, fugitive from justice, but it's not really about him. It's about these men. Dr. Mani Boama is the Minister for Defense. Abdul Razak Osman is the National Security Coordinator, and Mubarak Mutaka is the Minister for Interior. Now, if we are going to build a country of laws, then these are the men that I'm worried about in the terms of the actions that they've taken for this fugitive from justice to run into Ghana, facilitated by these men, giving him national security protection, etc., etc. I'm going to tell you how damaging this is to the republic. You can take a political side. We all have political sides, but this is not about political sides. This is about the future of this enterprise called democracy, with it attendant rule of law that we say that we are doing. And now we have people who have been elected into power by a landslide. Mani Boama appointed Minister for Defense by the president who won a landslide. Abdul Razak Osman appointed by the same president, and Mubarak Mutaka, and here they are. As it appears, they are violating a court order by bringing a fugitive from justice into Ghana and facilitating his movement around Ghana into Cape Coast near the stadium. Everything that you already know is true. Let's get to the story. All right. Now, we talked about this vehicle, isn't it? It's going to pop up. Yes. Vehicle number GE1666017. It requires an RTI request, and we are going to follow up on that. We are not going to joke on some of these things because we have to build a republic. This vehicle is a national security vehicle. There's another one. Did I see another one? Yes, UE 55323. These are national security vehicles owned by you, the taxpayer, put at the disposal of a fugitive from justice. Who are we talking about? Who is the fugitive from justice? Let's go over to the High Court, where a Court of Appeal judge, sitting as an additional High Court judge, made this ruling. Very, very far-reaching ruling. It's as follows. In the Superior Court of Judicature in the High Court of Justice, Commercial Division, Accra, case number CR904/17, the Republic versus Eugene Bafoboni, William Matthew Tetetevi, Nana Owusu Enso, Alhaji Salifu, Minina Osman, and George Derek Opon. This is what the case says. Warrant for the arrest of Kelvin Taylor. Now, this is what it says. Whereas the above named case is pending before the High Court, Accra, and whereas the court's attention has been drawn to a scandalous video circulating on social media in relation to this case, which video contains an extremely scandalous and prima facie contemptuous speech that scandalizes the judge, the court, and the whole administration of justice. And whereas the said scandalous video is purported to have been made by a scoundrel who styles himself as Kelvin Taylor, who is not a party to this case, and the court, finding it necessary to invoke the powers invested in it under Article 1262 of the 1992 Constitution, 1992, to proceed against the said scoundrel, Kelvin Taylor, for contempt. Now, therefore, the court orders the issuance of this arrest for the apprehension of the body of Kelvin Taylor, and for him to be produced before the court to answer to the question why he should not be committed to prison for making such contemptuous statements, which are totally a fabrication by him in the said video. It is hereby further ordered that this warrant is directed at the Inspector General of Police, IGP, and the Ghana Police Service, the Bureau of National Investigations, BNI, now known as NIB, and the National Security, to take appropriate steps for the apprehension and production of the said Kelvin Taylor before the court. It is further ordered that this warrant remains in force until the said Kelvin Taylor is arrested, and shall lapse the day the said Kelvin Taylor expires from the surface of the earth. Given under my hand and seal of the High Court of Justice, Commercial Division, Accra, this 16th day of January 2020, and is signed by Stephen Aforte, the registrar. It was given under the hand of Justice Che Bafo. Viewers, this is the story. A warrant of arrest served on somebody who is bastardizing the judiciary of Ghana, established under Article 138 of the Republican Constitution. So established that it has been such a backbone of Ghana's democracy since 1992. A fugitive from justice is one against whom a bench warrant has been issued. And the bench warrant was issued by the court. And it was served on the Ghana Police Service, the National Intelligence Bureau, NIB, and the National Security. Now, the men who oversee these things and those who were expected by the Republic to deliver the fugitive from justice are the same people who gave the guy protection to be in Ghana. Dr. Omani Boama, Minister for Defense, get ready, an RTI request is coming. Perhaps even a parliamentary question is coming. And perhaps also an allegation of contempt of court against all three men, if they were aware, unless they say they were not aware, but they were. Because this guy came to Ghana, as you have already heard, everything you heard is true, went to visit his parents near the stadium, and he was driven by some Eric guy. All of the data and information has been collected. Omani Boame's soldiers were protecting the guy against whom there is a bench warrant. He should come and tell us that he doesn't know anything about it. National Security Coordinator was aware, and the security people were protecting the guy against whom there's a court bench warrant because of politics of MPP and NDC. Is that how we want to build a country? Is that how we want to build a country? A person sits down and says anything at all. When the Multier 3 says something which is anything at all on radio, you saw how they ended up. If I say something which is anything at all, I'll be held before the courts. We have to do responsible broadcasting because we live in a certain democracy. If you do irresponsible broadcasting in this democracy, whether you are MPP or you are NDC, you have to find your way to the courts. We saw what happened to, was it Ken Crunchy? We saw it. We saw what happened with Ayuko and Co in the court. We saw it. So we live in this democracy, and therefore we are restricted by the tenets of the democracy. Somebody lives abroad, and because he's doing politics, NDC, MPP, he says anything at all. And then a court warrant is issued by a court of appeal judge, sitting as an additional high court judge, served on these institutions, and then defense minister will facilitate the arrival into Ghana, protect the person with national security, one against whom a bench warrant has been issued. That's the Ghana we want. Is that the Ghana we want? Is that the Ghana we want? So we are putting this out there. That's the bench warrant. You can go to the court and find it. That's it. That's the bench warrant. And somebody in the government, I know him, I won't mention his name, very, very good man. He drew the attention of the government that, look, this thing you are doing is dangerous. Take the guy out. Let this guy leave. Somebody inside the government, he told them, what you are doing is very, very dangerous. Elected officials under a democracy, and you are doing this. That's what the person told them. If I have the person's permission, I'll mention his name, but I think it will take a while for me to give him that. It's too early. But he'll tell me. I asked him, he said, no, you can't mention my name. He told them that, you bring this guy into town with national security protection. Quickly, Omani Boama was called. That the guy must leave the country now. So they shipped him out. He can't come back until he wants to face the court and explain why he should not be committed to contempt. The same question that was put before Mugabe, Akogun, Godwin and Mugabe and the group. Those we call them Muntie 3. That's the same question. The same question put before Ken Crunchy when he threatened the court one way or the other. Same question. Show why you should not be committed for contempt of court. This is a serious democratic republic. This democracy has elected J.J. Rawlings, it has elected John Kufuor, it has elected John Mahama, it has elected Akufo-Addo, it has elected Professor Mills, and we are not going to let the democracy slip away. And elected officials, important people, defense minister, should be the last people to undermine the authority of the judiciary. Should be the last people. These people here should be the last people to undermine the authority of the court of Ghana. Minister for Defense, Omani Boama, Minister for Interior, Buntaka, and National Security Coordinator. This bench warrant has been served on you people. Everybody saw it, and then they allowed United Airlines to fly the fugitive from justice into Ghana and take him to Cape Coast to go and visit his parents. If this good man I'm talking about had not said it, that hey, you people stop that, they wouldn't have shipped the guy out. Information suggests that the guy said he is looking for a political appointment, and when he gets that political appointment, he can get immunity. They discuss among themselves, and the good sounding voice I'm referring to told them that is a absolutely no-go area. Send the guy back because there's a bench warrant against him. This is a democracy. Did I say more? Let's go to the documents put out by Oliver Vormahor earlier today, explaining why he thinks Dampar has been sacked and why he thinks Dampar should be sacked and why he thinks Dampar should actually be investigated for crimes that he has committed against citizens of Ghana. See the letter. Okay, so it says, Dampar's undoing were 4 things. 1, the way he oversaw the brutal treatment of Democracy Hub protesters from Occupy Julobi House to Stop Galamsey protests. This includes the way he set his sights on me, Oliver referring to himself, doing almost everything in his power to use the police force against me and other conveners. I believe in that. He was extremely used by the former regime. He was their lapdog and he delivered. No, Oliver, there you are wrong. Dampar was not used by the former regime. How many times did Nana Akufo-Addo not advise Dampar that stop this picture and do the work? How many times? How many times did interior ministers not call Dampar and say, listen, you have to focus on the work, and he gets angry? How many times did Dampar not fight with Henry Quartey? How many times? How many times was there not argument at national security meetings with the president chairing about Dampar's public conduct? How many times? How many times did national security meetings not stop to discuss Dampar's conduct and his obstinacy and his intransigence? How many times? How many? Oliver, Dampar was not a lapdog for the former regime. But let's move on. Oliver continues, point 2. He says, the way Dampar empowered some criminal elements within the police PID. Those Dampar's people, that's what they were called. PID. Dampar came and set up another police for himself, and it's called PID. Oliver here is alleging that the way in which Dampar empowered these criminal elements within the PID, who committed crimes and had absolutely zero regard for due process, human life, or justice. They committed crimes that even Duterte, who is before the Hague for crimes against humanity, will be shy to imagine. Everyone I know in the police hierarchy and rank and file were complaining about the abuses of the PID guys, but everyone treated them as untouchables because they were Dampar's own terror squad. This is true. Everybody in the police service, all of us who are in media, have been getting calls from 2019-20, when Dampar became the IGP, from 2021, I think it was 22 or so. That Dampar has a squad. He has a murder squad. They are killing people. Every policeman told all of us, if you complain about it, you get fired. Dampar was running a terror regime with the police and also allegedly pilfering their money. Dampar, he was doing that allegedly, pilfering their money. The police. Number 3 on Oliver. He says, his lies, which is Dampar's lies. I have never seen a more dishonest Bible-touting individual. Oliver here describes Dampar as a liar who is a very dishonest Bible-touting individual. Oliver wrote this early this morning, about 9 o'clock. It was up. By that time, the report of Dampar hadn't come. So clearly, Oliver knew that Dampar was going to be fired today. So, a few people knew. I mean, I didn't know. I just found out when the report came out. I didn't know. But it looks like some people knew. Okay, let's move on. He comes say, oh no, this one I don't want to read it. Oliver says that in Dampar's Bible dishonesty, he comes second to Ken Ofori-Atta. I won't read that one. Ken Ofori-Atta is a good man. Despite this, Oliver goes on. He went ahead curating PR event. This was our problem with him. Despite all his lies, his dishonesty, his allegedly funding a PID squad in the police service that was committing criminality, in spite of all of these allegations, Ekufu Dampar went ahead curating PR events of babies kissing his hand and creating such a PR driven service to mask his extreme dishonesty. This is the thing that annoyed all of us, that Dampar's alleged dishonesty was being covered up by his PR gimmicks. How can an IGP say a camera should follow me that I'm going to buy cocoa in Katie? How low can you get? How bizarre can you get as an IGP? Inspector General of Police, go and sit in Parliament and is crying. How bizarre can you get? and you are the same person who is alleged to be funding criminal elements in the police, shooting and killing people, we are going to investigate all that. He will never get away with it. We'll teach him that this is a republic. It has rules, it has court, it has court of appeal, it has high court, and it has systems that work. So that anything that Dampar may have done that is illegal, that is criminal, is going to come to the fore. They are preparing the video. You will see the jubilation of the police. Today is truly the Police Independence Day. Now, number 4, Oliver says, Dampar's total disregard for other senior police hierarchy. He had his own clique and camp. Those he liked, he kept close. Those he didn't like, he felt it apart. He was petty, vindictive, and just an extremely insecure man. Wow! Oliver couldn't have put it better. Dampar, petty, vindictive, and extremely insecure. He lacks confidence of himself. A police officer. He's always looking for how to gain something. You go and call small children that you are engaging with them, and that the camera should film it and put it out that Dampar is engaging with small children. If somebody alleges that you're a pedophile, will you be happy? IGP, you are engaging with small children, so that they film it and you show that you can come to the level of children, so you should be IGP. Today you have been sacked. He was petty, vindictive, and just an extremely insecure man. I say good riddance. The man must rest for new blood to learn from where he failed. Shalom, Oliver. Shalom. That's Oliver Baka Vomahos. He says Dampar's undoing were 4 things.